So hello everyone, today is Tuesday, July 5, 2022 and we are back with analysis of the Hindu Delhi edition. As usual, we'll be first identifying the most important news followed by a detailed discussion of the same. But before moving to that section, let me give you answer for yesterday's question. So the yesterday's question was identify the ocean currents of North Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so we'll be making North Atlantic Ocean and see which all currents are there. So this is the equator. Okay, we have the Africa here and Europe over here. I think I must give space, no? Or it would look really bad. So I'm reviewing the question. I'm doing it for North Atlantic Ocean. Okay. This should do. Okay, fine. So this is somewhat like this. Actually, this should have come at this point. Now it will go good. Okay, so this is your Africa, this is your America, and this is your North Atlantic Ocean. Okay, this is Greenland, this is Iceland. Let's see. So warm current, North Equatorial current, North Atlantic Equatorial current. I forgot to make two, three things, 2-3 islands here. There is this Antilles Island, and then there is this Caribbean Islands. Okay, Caribbean Islands are also there. So, and apart from that, okay, fine. And any more island required? No. Okay, then we'll go for it. So North Atlantic, North Equatorial Atlantic current, it divides into part Antilles current and Caribbean current. It goes into this sea. Okay, and I think I made the map wrong. Wait. Let me make the correct map first, because if map is not correct, then it will be a problem. Okay, let's see. So it goes on to go like this, and then this, and then this. It comes back here. Now it's perfect. Here we have Cuba, here we have Antilles Island here. This is the Caribbean Sea, Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea. Fine. Now let's see. This is North Atlantic Equatorial current, Antilles Ocean. So Antilles current and Caribbean current. Okay, some goes into Caribbean Sea. It will come like this. Goes into Gulf of this thing. This is Florida current. This also come and meets here, and this becomes Gulf Stream. Okay, very powerful current, most powerful one. This goes on like this. This is called North Atlantic drift. It will drift till here, it will go till here. Okay, it will come till like this. Fine, you understand the hot currents. I'll write down the name, don't worry. Now I'll make the cold current, Labrador current. Okay, coming from here, it will go like this, becomes Canary current and back. Yeah, so this is the current structure for your Atlantic Ocean. So this is North Atlantic Equatorial current. This is Caribbean current. This is Antilles current. This is Florida current. This is Gulf Stream. So Gulf Stream is three things. Okay, Antilles current and this one Caribbean current meets to make Florida current, and it then gets amplified to Gulf Stream. Okay, Gulf, this is North Atlantic drift. This goes on here. Some will return. This is Irmingar current, and some will go like this. Okay, to even higher latitudes. This is Iceland current. This is Labrador current. Okay, and this is your Labrador current, Canaries current. Fine. So this is the structure. This is your North Atlantic gyre. Okay, let me mark it with this one. This is what? This is North Atlantic gyre. Okay, entire is your North Atlantic gyre. Fine. What is a gyre? You get a reading of that from your static notes. This is just for revision sake. Okay, so this is your North Atlantic gyre. Fine. So today's homework is what? Today's question is to identify ocean currents of South Atlantic. Major, okay, not all. Fine. So you do it. I'll tell you tomorrow. Fine. Let's see today. Let's identify from today's newspaper what we have to study. There is nothing here. Hotels can't force customer to pay service charge. No such amount can be added to bill. Okay, just know this. Okay, there is nothing here. There is okay. There is nothing here on this page. Okay, there is nothing till now. In this case, okay, there is nothing here. Okay, article of prayer of multilateralism, and he is former Indian ambassador with long experience in multilateral democracy. Okay, we can read this. Let's see what he has to say. In political ticket, not required. Zero direct nutrition intervention. Yes. We'll do this also. US Iran thing. Okay, it has not been in news. Why it has come, we have to see. University vision. Okay, fine. We'll see this. This is a good point. Local condition and market demands. Okay, right intent, confusing content. E-waste management rule, very important. So all the articles are important today. Okay. Enforcing single-use plastic ban. We'll see the gist. If required, then we'll go inside. Space sustainability. We'll see the gist. UPI, the dawn of digital fintech nirvana. Yes, this UPI has done something that is great for India. Okay, we'll do this. Is there anything? There's nothing here. So just know this. Ruchira Kamboj is the new permanent representative of India to UN. Okay, and she has taken it today. Yes, last was T.S. Trimurti. She takes over T.S. Trimurti, and who before that it was Syed Akbaruddin. Okay, just remember these things. Leading the date in okay. SC to list Agnipath case next week. This is a very important point. Okay, people who have gone under selection process, they should actually be allowed for this time. Okay. A seismic riding past the tail section of rocket. Jordan parade shooting. Myanmar host. Told to stay away from politics. 16 point imports such as widening trade deficit. Trade deficit will widen. That is expected. We'll see this. What is this? Oil export tax on forex rate and oil prices. Okay, we'll see that. What it is. Tracker rupees volatility. Okay, we'll see this. Okay. Rashtrapur on victory path. Okay, so with this we have identified the most important news. Now let's go quickly and analyze the same. So what happened? Why it is not responding? Oh yes, now it's good. So we didn't have news on all these pages. I think directly editorial. As usual, we do editorial at last. But let me see the news which are there. I don't think many news were there. Very. Okay. So we have to see two news on the economy page, right? Business page. Government to review oil taxes, oil export tax on forex rate. Okay, it will reassess windfall tax fortnightly. What is this? I don't know. Let's see. Review just introduced windfall tax on domestically produced crude oil and fuel export every 2 weeks based on foreign currency rates and international oil prices, but no levels have been fixed for it, recall top officials say. Revenue Secretary Mr. Tarun Bajaj said that $40 per barrel level of oil prices being talked about for a rollback of levy is unrealistic, considering the international oil rates currently. There is a way we will monitor it every 2 weeks, depending on foreign currency rates and depending on where international prices are. What is dollar to rupee? The international price of diesel, crude. What is domestic cost of crude? We'll keep reviewing it. You can decipher it yourself once we review it. The government last week slapped an export tax on petrol, diesel, jet fuel and imposed a windfall tax on crude oil produced locally. Okay, let's see what is this windfall tax. Windfall tax. A tax levied on unforeseen, unexpectedly large profit, especially one regarding excessive and unfairly obtained. Okay. I now remember. What happened is that look, domestically, okay, from say Dibrugarh, okay, we produce oil at say $100 per barrel, okay, and internationally due to war, what had happened? The cost is say $200 per barrel. Okay, so they are selling it at $200 barrel, which should not have been done. Why? This is costing what? About 100 billions of billion dollar, 100 billion. Oh, sorry, 100 billion, 100 dollar 100 per barrel. Fine, this is the thing, and there is nothing given to the government because oil is tax free in this case or production. Okay, so what has been done? Windfall tax has been slapped. Okay, this is then export tax has been slapped. Okay, and what is this windfall trap? Windfall, if you produce domestically at $100 per barrel and from international imports you are getting say you are able to give at $120 per barrel. So what they are doing, they are selling this 100 to at 120. Okay, then what will happen? They are again getting $20 per barrel profit, which is unrealistic. It should not have been this, so they have to give a windfall tax to it. This is what they are saying. Okay, I thought it is something else, but this was easy thing. Okay, center said to take steps to tackle rupee volatility as oil prices rises. Current account deficit will go up to. India is trying to address volatility in Indian rupee that has tumbled. Okay, to record lows against dollar in recent week, the government officer said on Monday, amid concern of widening trade deficit and sell-off asset by foreign investors. The rupee has punched 6% against dollar this year, weighing down by broad strength in greenback. From domestic share market. Greenback as investors retreated from domestic share market. Obviously, meanwhile, Indian trade gap touched a monthly record of 24.3 billion in May, hurt by higher commodity prices. When oil prices this high, obviously CAD will go up. The official who did not want to be named told the reporter. Okay, last several years, India has been bringing CAD with capital flow. Okay, current account deficit has been bridging current account deficit with capital flow. This year there was headwind on capital flow. The rupee ended at about $79 to dollar, close to a record low touched last week. Okay, so it is just saying that due to oil prices rise and this Fed thing and appreciation and depreciation of dollar and other currency and all those things had led to what this widening of current account deficit. Okay. And yes, these two news were there. Now we are left with editorial thing. Let's see. I think on 8th page. Let's see the text and explain page first. Enforcing the single-use plastic ban from July 1. It has came into existence. Let's see. A ban on use of single-use plastic that was notified by Union came to effect on July 1 this year. A single-use plastic is an object made of plastic that is intended to be used only once before being disposed of or recycled. Okay, now 32 states and Union Territory have reportedly constituted a dedicated task force to eliminate use. All India Plastic Manufacturers Association said that a ban would shutter 88,000 units of plastic manufacturing business. These employ close to 1 million people and contributes to export of worth 25,000 crores. Yes, this is a problem. Economy will suffer, but yes, environment is very important. If we do not live healthy, then what is the need for this highly growing economy? Okay. Mineral water bottles or plastic bottles of aerated drinks are unaffected by the ban, though in popular imagination they are representative of plastic pollution. Okay. Fine. So what are these? Let's see. There is a list of 21 items. Earbuds with plastic stick for balloons, plastic flags, candy sticks, ice cream sticks, thermocol for decoration. This is also banned. Oh my god. Plate, cup, glasses, cutlery such as fork, spoon, knife, wrapping, packing films around sweet boxes, invitation card, cigarette packets, plastic or PVC banners, less than 100 micron stirrer. Okay, so these are banned. So there will be a task force for this. Okay. According to EPA Act, violating this ban could invite punitive action. Manufacturers and distributors of single-use plastic were directed to have zero inventory by June 30, according to the officer. Impose fine up to 1 lakh or both. If the violators are repeated, they could mean additional fine of 5,000 for each day. Okay. History. What is the history? Environment Ministry told Raj Sabha last July that plan to phase out some categories of single-use plastic by 2022. Okay. Okay. Thickness of the country. Okay. Before the amendment came into force, the plastic waste management rule only prohibited the manufacture, import, stocking, distribution, sale and carry of plastic bag of less than 50 microns. Thus is only prohibited till 50 microns. Okay, less than 50 microns thing. Okay. There is a ban on sachet using plastic material used for storing and packing or selling gutka, tobacco and all those things. There is a ban on manufacture, import, stocking, distribution, sale and use of carry bag made of virgin or recycled plastic less than 75 micron as opposed to 50 micron under the earlier version of the rule. Okay. Is there a popular support for ban? All India plastic manufacturers said that ban would affect, obviously economy will be affected, fast moving consumer good companies, FMCG would be severely affected. Okay. Replacement industries is obviously missing. There is limited capacity in India to provide biodegradable replacement. Obviously this is truth, and have to government requesting 6-month extension before it takes effect. No. Ban it. Will some or the other measures will be coming up to compensate it. Okay. The government has, however, signaled from its firm commitment to the ban. Environment Minister has said government has multiple consultation with the industry since 2018 had nearly a year to find the alternative, but not but that has not been found. What is environment damage from single-use plastic? Unlike thicker and denser plastic material, single-use plastic objects being light and flexible are less amenable to being recycled. While 99% of the plastic is recycled, they constitute heavier plastic that are likely to be collected by rag pickers and plastic waste recyclers. Single-use plastic do not provide an incentive enough for the effort needed to collect them. Hence, they lie around, leach their toxic into soil and cause environmental damage. Okay, so you understand this. This is a rather easier concept. Okay, now after this, let's see the next one. What is this? Okay, the need for space sustainability. What is UK's Astro Carta model? Fine, so we'll be talking about this Astro Carta model. Let's see. I think it will be regarding the space debris collection thing, right? An outer space is considered a shared natural resource, obviously, by Scopus in 2019 adopted a set of 21 voluntary non-binding guidelines to ensure long-term sustainability of outer space activities. The UK Space Sustainability Plan mentions four primary elements to review the regulatory framework of UK orbital activity. The first one is review the regulatory framework or orbital activity to emphasize international engagement on space sustainability, to try and develop safety and quality related metrics that quantify the sustainability of activity, and to induce additional funding for active debris removal. The ISRO has initiated Project Netra to monitor the space debris. Okay, the domestic surveillance system would provide first-hand information on status of debris, which would aid further planning and protecting of the space asset. Okay, so we have our Netra there, and they have their own thing now. Fine. So this is it from this text and context page. Look, things are easy. If you don't know, you must read it. If you are in the preparation for about 4, 5, 6 months, then you must be knowing these things. Okay, therefore I don't spend much time on that. Okay, if you don't know, that's very fine. There's nothing wrong about it. You just read that or read it from the static notes. That will do your work. Okay, now let's see. UPI, Unified Payment Interface, the dawn of digital fintech nirvana. Why it is used nirvana? Because they think that they have reached the egg of its ability, right? The virtual payment interface is an Indian technological success story, one which enables us to move around with empty pockets, banning a smartphone. Okay, yes, this is true. I myself use this thing, and especially the Bhim UPI. Okay, the UPI was launched in 2016 by NPCI. It operates on top of IMPS, which was created by NPCI to immediate fund transfer. The primary reason for popularity of UPI is that it accepts transactions as small as 1 rupee for merchant. The absence of MDR that they have to pay to their bank. The ecosystem in which UPI thrives is not to be missed. The presence of high-speed internet in many parts of the country, technology that powers a smartphone, cloud computing, modern software engineering technologies that fulfill a transaction in few seconds. This is an important point. This must be written everywhere. Okay, fine. So give it a read. I think you will understand it. In 2019, Google has requested US Fed to develop a solution similar to UPI, citing a thoughtful planning, design and implementation behind it. UPI is obviously an engineering marvel of today's world, right? It is helping so many people. Now you find even the small ferry sellers around the street, they have their UPI code, Paytm code, or they don't understand UPI or say Bharat Pay or something like that, Phone Pay. Okay, they don't understand the logic behind it, but yes, its utility is immense. Therefore, it is a digital solution. Okay, you don't need to know everything about it. Okay, now let's see. Okay, so we are left with 2-3 articles more. Now let's see. A chaotic world, the perils of multilateralism. What is multilateralism? It is opposite of unilateralism. That is, there are multiple partners to a project, not bilateral or unilateral. Okay. Instead, bilateral engagements may be more productive at this point in history. Yes, it may be true. It is true. Today at Quad Summit 2, tomorrow at Bridge Summit, and day after at G7 Summit is a statesman dream come true. The exchange of idea with world leaders seeking common ground on burning issues and all those things. But at time when world is trying to grapple with the impact of unprecedented problems which arose in the first 2 decades of 21st century, the various intergovernment organization grouping which are undergoing fundamental changes may not be fertile place to build inner peace. The time is okay. Let's see. The inbuilt contradiction. The 14th virtual summit, BRICS summit, was clear attempt by China to hijack the grouping. Going by the blueprint it has prepared for new world order. Cautiously, BRICS was not meant to be a political grouping when acronym BRIC was coined by Goldman Sachs economist in 2001 to categorize these countries. which were accepted to collectively dominate global growth by 2050. Seeing the possibility of developing a non-Western global economic system, China welcomed the ideas of BRICS as nucleus of new economic grouping. Okay. Invested energy and resources. The other joined latter by South Africa, which also attracted the idea by creating a catalyst for alternative to Bretton Woods institution. Okay, what does it want to say? Let's see. The composition of grouping has its own contradiction right from the beginning. 2 permanent members of Security Council together with 3 aspirants to become permanent member appeared like 2 carnivores and 3 herbivores invited to the same meal with little possibility for changing menu. But grouping focused on possibility of cooperation among them by developing institutions such as NDB, the BRICS contingent reserve arrangement and cooperation in certain sectors. The fundamental question of the support for the 3 countries to secure permanent membership with fossilized on China position that the role developing countries should be enhanced, implying that there shall be no expansion of permanent membership of Security Council. Russia's support for India also got diluted as a result. Even at the best of time, BRICS partnership did not result in support for the 3 partners. There has been a sea change. Okay, I don't think it is very relevant with examination. Give it a read. I don't see it very relevant. It is a viewpoint. Okay, just know this. You can write this thing. Direct question I don't see coming. If it ever comes, then we have a lot of point to write about it. Okay, I'm not doing this. I thought it would have been a good article, but still it is just a so-so article. India needs to scale up direct nutrition interventions. It will be a good article. Preconception nutrition, maternal nutrition, and child feeding practices in first 1000 days of life. Days of life need priority. So 3 things it is saying. Pre-conception nutrition means before you get pregnant, before the women get pregnant, they should have a proper nutrition, that is preconception nutrition. Maternal nutrition, when they are pregnant and after they have given birth to the child, the nutrition should be taken care of. It is being taken care of by the state also. And child feeding practices for the first 100 days, okay, 1000 days. As India celebrates its 75th anniversary of independence, there is much to be proud about. Significant advancements have been made in science, technology, and etc. 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 Still, it is disconcerting that even after 7 decades of independence, India afflicted by public health issues such as child malnutrition, 35% stunted, 67% anemic, attributing to 68.2% of under 5 child mortality. Poor nutrition not only adversely impacts health and survival but also leads to diminished learning capacity, poor school performance, and in adulthood it means reduced earning and all those things and diseases. The good news is that government appears determined to set it right with an aggressive national nutrition mission, that is Poshan 2.0, rebranding it as Poshan Abhiyan. Okay, it has objective of reducing malnutrition in women, children, and adolescents girls. The WCD continues to be the nodal implementing agency ministry for national nutrition mission with a vision to align different ministries to work in tandem on window of opportunity, the first 1000 days of life, 270 days of pregnancy, and 730 days for 0 to 24 months. The global and Indian evidence fully supports this strategy, which prevents largely irreversible stunting occurring by 2 years of age. Poshan Abhiyan rightly places a special emphasis on selected high impact nutrition intervention combined with nutrition sensitive intervention which indirectly impact mother, infant, and young child nutrition, such as improving coverage and maternal child services, enhancing women empowerment, availability and access to improved water, sanitation and hygiene, and enhancing homestead food production for a diversified child. Okay, so these things are there. NHFS data is a pointer, yes. So NHFS 5 reveals substantial improvement in period for 4 to 5 years in several proxy indicators, okay, of women empowerment, which government deserves credit. There is a substantial increase in antenatal service attendance, women having their own service bank account, women owning mobile phone that they themselves use, women married before 18 years of age had reduced obviously, women with 10 or more years of schooling, and access to clean fuel and cooking. But alarmingly, during this period, the country has not progressed well in terms of direct nutritional intervention. So this is the challenge. Preconception nutrition, maternal nutrition, and appropriate infant-child feeding remain to be effectively addressed. India has 20 to 30% undernutrition even in first 6 months of life, when exclusive breastfeeding is the only nourishment required. This means what? Mother is malnourished. Okay. Neither maternal nutrition care intervention nor infant or young child feeding practices have shown desired improvement. A maternal nutrition policy is still awaited. Despite a policy on infant and young child feeding, a ban on sale of commercial milk for infant feeding, there has only been a marginal improvement in practice of exclusive breastfeeding. Child undernutrition in first 3 months remain high, creating awareness on EBF. Okay, exclusive breastfeeding, promoting techniques of appropriate holding. Okay, this is very important. Latching and manually emptying the breast are crucial for optimal transfer of breast milk to the baby. Recent evidence from Center for Technology Alternatives for this IIT Mumbai team indicates that a well-planned breastfeeding counseling given to pregnant women during antenatal checkup prior to delivery and follow-up frequent home visits make significant difference. This is a very good point. Okay, you can write it. That well-planned breastfeeding counseling given to pregnant women during antenatal checkup prior to delivery and a follow-up of frequent home visit makes a significant difference. Who can do it? Asha workers can do it. Okay, Asha Anganwadi workers. Fine. The daily weight gain of a baby was noted to over 30 to 35 grams per day and underweight prevalence rate reduced by almost 2/3. Another key intervention, complementary feeding practices, that is complementing semi-solid feeding with continuation of breast milk from 6 months to onwards. Poor complementary feeding is often due to lack of awareness to start feeding at 6 to 8 months. What and how to feed appropriately family food item, how frequently and in what quantity. The fact that 20% of children in higher socioeconomic group are also standard increasing indicates poor knowledge in food selection and feeding practices and child ability to swallow the mass food. Where are we going wrong? So creating awareness at right time with right tool and right technique regarding the special care of first 1000 days deserves high priority. We must act now and invest finance and energy in the mission mode. Prime Minister can give a major boost to Poshan 2.0 like he did to Swachh Bharat Abhiyan using his Man Ki Baat program. Yes, this is important. There is pressing need to revisit the system spearheading Poshan 2.0 and overhaul it to remove any flaws in implementation. We need to see if we are using opportunity of service delivery contact with mother child in the first 1000 days of the to the optimum. There is a need to revisit the nodal system for nutrition program exchange. Okay, into ICDS under Ministry of Women and examine whether the right system for reaching the mother child in. Okay, by depending on ICDS, we are in fact missing the frequent contacts with pregnant mother and children that the public health sector provides during antenatal care services and child immunization services. There is also need to explore whether there is alternative way to distribute the ICDS supplied supplementary nutrition as take-home ration packets through public distribution system and free Anganwadi workers, etc. We need to systematically review the status and develop and test the new system that would combine the human resource of ICDS and health from villages to district and state level. This would address the mismatch that exists, focusing on delivery in first 1000 days of life preventing. Okay, it's time to think out of box and overcome the systemic flaws and our dependence on antiquated system of 1970s that is slowing down the process. Moreover, mass media or TV should organize discourse on care in first years. This is also important. TV debates. What are the TV debates today? This has said that, that person has said that, this religion is got offense, that religion got offense, that sect is feeling offense, he went to the High Court, he went to the Supreme Court, Hindus are doing this, Muslims are doing this. No, these debates should not be there. They should be there, but the amount of such debates should be reduced, and debates such as these, like how to regarding public health, public education, infrastructure building, economic growth, there are a number of things to discuss, but what we are discussing something that is more or less not relevant to today's post-pandemic world. We need to change our discussions, our discourse, so that we can perform better in all the aspects of life here. Okay, so let's do the other one. There was one more article, I think. Deal or no deal? The US and Iran should start direct talks. Again, I misread it. Should start direct talk. Okay. So it is a more or less what? It is a article that is giving ideas that yes, they should do this, they should do that. Fine, give it a read. It won't have anything special here. Idea based, I read only for these things like which are very relevant to the syllabus, like education, health. The social justice section needs more ideas, more newer approach. This Iran deal, if it is there, then we all know that we should write this, that all the world power should come on the table and talk together. The major nuclear power, including Israel, and should be given opportunity to talk and all those things, right? So it goes like this. The problem with our university vision, instead of taking local condition and market demand into account, yes, that's enough to know about this local condition and market. So the point will be, you don't have to write it like negative point. We can write positive point in way forward. What can be the way forward? That local conditions plus market demand should be priority, okay, but higher education should not transform to higher education, okay. So these points you can write, that would be enough. You don't have space to write there, so you must know what to write and what not to write. The core changes proposed by draft e-waste management rule requires careful deliberation. Last month marked a decade since e-waste management rules came into effect in India, okay. Here, by Environment Ministry, despite retaining the underlying extended producer responsibility framework, the new draft rule significantly departs from the previous one. E-waste market. One of the major changes in introduction of market for e-waste recycling certificate, and draft rule states that producers of e-goods have to ensure that at least 60% of their product waste is recycled by 2023. This shift from collection rate target, which sets target of e-waste as percentage of quantity of product sold by weight in market in previous year, in current rules of recycling rates target the proposed rule of another important change. The proposed market for e-waste recycling appears unrealistic. First, large-scale recycling of e-waste is still in its infancy in India. Most of the recycling of valuable material is carried out within the informal sector, true. Using inefficient and unsafe technology, very true. At time when the technical feasibility and commercial viability of different recycling technologies and approaches for e-waste component is being worked upon in India, a target to recycle 60% of e-waste generated in 2022-23 appears too optimistic. Second, if regulatory targets were to create a vibrant market for recycling, the existing formal and informal player would have to play a crucial role. In light of this, the complete silence on regulating registered collector, dismantlers, and producers responsibility organization is puzzling. Obviously, who will ensure that the entities are carrying out their responsibility in environmentally safe manner, or these entities are no longer covered under the EPR framework? In addition, informal sector accounts for vast majority of e-waste produced in India. Most e-waste policy debates have centered around the integration of informal sector into the formal sector. So this is one of the most important point in e-waste. It must come in examination when you write an answer. The proposed regulation, however, places the responsibility of such integration on state government without specifying in what the incentives are there for them to do this. Experience from European countries suggests that recycling targets would likely be much more difficult for regulators to monitor and to enforce compared to collection target. Does the recycling target apply to every component of e-waste products, or just is apply only to its aggregated weight? This is important because technological complexity and cost could vary by component. If it is by aggregate weight, the rule indicates it could incentivize recycling material that are easy and inexpensive to recycle. Example: plastic, copper, glass, as opposed to material that are costly and technologically more difficult, but perhaps have greater environmental footprints. Example: rare earth metals. If Ministry and CPCB decide to go ahead recycling target, they should come up with guideline how the regulated entities must demonstrate compliance with the target. Steering committee power. The other major change in introduction by steering committee to oversee and all those things are there. Suspend and supervision. The committee, for example, has power to decide the product wise conversion factor and all those things are there. Remove any difficulty in smooth implementation of the rules to propose by chair, which would representative in the okay producers and that's all. But it is surprising that representatives from science academia and civil society are missing. The draft e-rule propose a few positive changes, include expanding the definition of e-waste, more clearly specifying penalties for violation of rule, introducing an environment compensation fund based on polluter pay principle, and recognizing the informal waste worker. The core change it proposes within the EPR framework, however, requires careful deliberation within the relevant stakeholder before the rules are finished. Okay, a good article, but this has been covered in the text and context page earlier also. Okay, the same points has been covered some days ago. I have analyzed that also. Fine. So yes, we have reached to the end of today's newspaper analysis. I hope you like it. If you like it, consider subscribing the channel, liking our content, comment on the answer today. Okay, and apart from that, you share the work with your friends and family, those who needs it. Okay, so that Indian in India at least get free education, right? So with this, I am ending today's analysis session. It's time to say a goodbye. Take part from you. So goodbye all. Take care. Study well and Jai Hind.